guys, it's Jo and welcome back to another video. As an intuitive eater, I'm going to be tracking my calorie intake. But why am I even doing this? I'm really happy with my relationship with food. Of course, there are still times where I'm like tempted to do the diets and things like that. But in general, I'm doing so much better. You're not going to eat the same thing every single day because your appetite is going to change, your cravings are going to change, and all of those things are completely normal. But I also want to answer the question of, if I eat intuitively, does my body know how much I need? Our goal isn't to control our intake. I'm not even gonna compute after each meal. I'm just gonna put it all together at the end of the week. We're also gonna talk about what intuitive eating is, what calorie counting is, and everything else in between. If there's anybody here who is triggered by calories, you can definitely click out and you can join us for the next video. So with that, let's go. Hold up, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also thumbs up this video if you want to see more. I would really appreciate it. And of course, follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Let's go. Also, do you like my little makeup look? I tried to just do it like simple, but at least glam for the cam. Haha. Let's talk about calories. What are they? Calories are not a nutrient, but they are a measure of energy. I'm gonna start my day with a workout, but we need some fuel. They're a measure of how much energy you get from a specific food item or doing a specific task. It's leg day. Tasks like working out, doing house chores, or simply just breathing. The calories that come from food is considered your calories consumed, and the calories for your daily activities is your calories used, also known as your total daily energy expenditure. How many calories does it take for me to do this? I I'm hungry, but I don't know what to eat. Angel yarn. We're gonna do 2 slices of this banana bread, and then I'm gonna put some peanut butter on it. We're doing this random peanut butter. Normally I would have like some omelet for breakfast, but we don't have egg anymore. I have to order some. So what we're doing is we're measuring out the food, and then at the end of the week, I'll do the whole calculations. I don't want to see it while I'm eating it because that's gonna control me. That was so sweet and sticky. I need some water. I'm making lunch, but I'm very hungry, so I'm gonna have a snack. I don't want to get too hangry. I'm gonna make like a fried rice-ish thing, but I didn't really get to ask for veggies, so we're just gonna eat pineapple and tomatoes. It's raining now. It's so gloomy. Oh my gosh. I just made some chicken breasts, egg fried rice. Are we gonna pick this up? And then some Japanese mayo on top. You know I need my something sweet. I tried this yesterday, but I heated it up. Not as good, but when it's cold, it's time for a snack. I kind of want a fruit for my snack. I'm gonna scoop it out. Time to make dinner. So I wanted to order some pasta. So I've been craving some pasta. We'll just make. Too early in the week to spend money on food. I've shopped already. Dinner, but this is a lot more than I initially thought it was gonna be. Done. I'm so full and I'm sweating. I could have stopped. Medyo konti na lang din. It happens. Sometimes it happens. Let's talk about intuitive eating. One factor of intuitive eating is, of course, eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're full. It's also knowing that you're not just feeding your body fuel, you're also feeding your memories, your traditions, your culture. Starting off with a banana until I can figure out what I want to eat for breakfast so I don't get hangry. And it's also knowing that every day is going to be different. I attempted to eat the same thing yesterday, the banana bread and peanut butter, but I know that I wasn't actually completely satisfied with that. There will be days where you're craving more food and days where you're craving less food. That doesn't make one day better than the other. Intuitive eating is basically trusting your intuition. I was craving for bread, so we are having a grilled cheese. This is just air fried, by the way. So good. Of course, we need a little bit more fiber and protein. I'll probably have another banana, and I am boiling some eggs for some more protein. So you can eat without the external rules, but listening to the rules of your body. Of course, it takes time for you to be able to really connect with your body. But once you're connected, it makes eating less stressful. My sister cooked up some broccoli and some lemon pepper tofu. I didn't put so much of the tofu because if you watch my previous video, I'm still in a weird relationship with tofu. I need more rice, but I don't want to heat it up anymore. See, sometimes you put something in your plate thinking that's enough and you realize it's not, but you learn from that experience. Lunch is done, so you know I'm looking for dessert. Another thing about intuitive eating is that you don't have any restrictions around your food because you listen to your body and you accept cravings and all of these things. So before, well, this is probably not something that I could face, or if I saw it, I'm like, I have to eat it all. Now it's like, we have so many snacks. I'm not sure what I want. Satisfied. Blow pops are my favorite candy! Send me some candy! Dad bought Bucci. I'm rewatching The Bold Type. If you guys have watched that, and if you guys like rewatching shows, let me know. So is ours Bucci. So good. Eating my dinner. Actually, I'm just heating up some rice and some chicken, and then I'm gonna have some extra fiber. I know that I haven't had enough fiber in the past few days, so we're catching up. Also, I made this bowl. Sprinkle bowl. Magnum that I left in the freezer. Because sometimes it's just too much, you know? And then instead of like force feeding it to myself, I'm like, it's okay, I can put it in the freezer, I can have it again another time. Thinking about what to eat and I'm not yet sure. So it's the daily banana. If I do intuitive eating, wouldn't I end up just eating the quote-unquote bad food? First off, we have to unpack the label of bad versus good, where there's not really bad or good food. There is foods with more nutrients and foods with less nutrients, but that doesn't make it bad versus good. Before, I used to just like want to eat cereal all the time, and then I started to realize that cereal wasn't as satisfying as I wanted it to be. I want something more satiating that doesn't make me feel more hungry after. Most people think that intuitive eating, saying you always deserve to eat, is kind of telling people to just not care about their health and eat whatever they want whenever they want. Anti-diet and intuitive eating is not anti-health. It's anti-restrictive versions of health that we currently have and focus on way too much in the current structure of society. And rather than restricting yourself, opening up your mind to abundance. Because when you actually eat whatever you want, whenever you want, you find that food doesn't have the same power as it used to. Breakfast, so I've got some bread, a little omelette with like cabbage for more fiber, and then I put some mayo and ketchup. I'm also gonna put some hummus on my bread because yeah. Of course, when you first start eating intuitively, it's gonna feel a little bit crazy as you finally eat the foods you weren't allowed to. The point of intuitive eating is to switch your mindset from, can I eat this? To, do I want this? And how does it make me feel? Because in current diet structure, you're only eating what you're supposed to or allowed to without really asking yourself if that's what you want. I'm gonna have this mango because it looks so good and it tasted so sweet when I had the other half. Currently in the hospital with Bai. Well, she's in the ER. I am in the waiting and I'm gonna grab myself a snack because I'm hungry. I'm gonna do this protein bar. Hospital steak forever. It's so good, but it's so sweet. There's no other food but this plant-based lasagna. If I was still in my dieting phases, this would like stress me out so much. We're focusing on the important thing, which is my sister healing. If we can nourish ourselves with any food available, that is a goal. There's many ways to track your intake, but the general guideline would be to weigh your food and then enter it into a specific app. So I made this last night because I knew I wouldn't know exactly what to eat for breakfast. I don't know if I want to eat it. It needs a little shaping. This is the view, o diba? Puno, isa lang. Tracking can be helpful for many reasons. It can help you be more aware of your intake. It can help you reach specific goals. It can also help you be more familiar with your food overall, like what nutrients you get, where do you get carbs, where do you get fats, protein, fiber, and all of those things. But of course, you have the negative side. If you're tracking your intake, sometimes it can take away from nourishment and connecting with your cues and focus too much on numbers. There was a time where I had oats every single day. I was super duper sick of it. So far, we're doing good. Peanut butter is really the highlight of this meal. I know it's super content na lang, but this is like one more step towards uncomfortable fullness and I don't want to push it there. It can also come to the point where you become obsessed with everything. I remember how I used to eat where I was just obsessed with the calories, the numbers. I want to eat the whole pack of Oreos, but I also know how many calories it is and I'm trying to think of it if it's worth it, if I've earned it, if I deserve it. Because right now, a lot of these numbers are still ingrained in my mind, even if I try to erase it. Daddy brought us some taho. Taho time. Needs a little bit more sugar. And of course, there's the fact that most calorie counts have a 20% margin of error. If you can see calories and this information not as something that rules your life, but just tools to understand your intake, then it can be helpful. But if you find yourself assigning moral value and assigning your worth and also feeling very frustrated with all of this information, then I don't suggest that you do it. There are still many ways to be nourished and stay on your health goals without having to track every single calorie. There's a thin line between mindfulness and obsession. Lunch, 2 tortang talong. I love their tortang talong here. This is some air fried broccoli and cauliflower from the house. I put some mayo in my veggies because I'm kind of addicted to mayo, I guess. Bought this Mentos because it was like circus Mentos with like some fun flavors, but it tastes terrible, so don't buy this. It's one of the only snacks we have. Eat the crusts first. This one is so good. Nothing inside. Forgot about this concealer. I gotta blend it out. So we ordered some wabi-sabi. I've got this corn tempura. I've got a kuah pao. A banh mi. Let's start off with some bread. It's so good when the bread is soft. Grapes. Okay, we're doing some tortang talong for breakfast. And I'm a little concerned and sad about the no ketchup thing. Lunch. Sweet and sour chicken. It is the sauce. I'm so scared it's gonna spill. I just changed my pants yesterday. Time for little snackies. I got this from 7-Eleven. They actually put some of the info here. If I look at the other food items, it has the same nutrition information. But I want jamba juice, so we are looking, and she said there's like a mystery world, which you can get a mystery drink based on your personality. I am not adventurous for this, but we'll try. My note. Thank you. Cheers. Problem is, I ordered 3 and we don't know who this is. This one is mine, which I think it's a mystery one, which is boring. So I guess my personality from the test is boring. Boo! The ones that Bai has are like sour, and then they taste like gummy worms. So if you guys take the test or you do it, make sure to put, did you put cheer me up, excited?
One is excited, one is happy.
One is excited. You're happy right now. You're excited.
Bored, but you know, I'm fine.
Salad for dinner. We thought we were gonna go home, but then the building closes at 5, so I'm also going to eat this kiwi. We also have some soup from Bai's Food and some rice, milk, cookies, and F-Boy Island. Okay, so the week is done. I went on Chronometer and I logged all of the food. I want to first tap into the computation that I made for my recommended calorie intake. So as you can see on the screen, this is how my week went. I do want to emphasize something. This week's intake was not necessarily my usual intake, specifically because we went to the hospital midweek. To average out my calorie intake was close to the recommended. My carb intake was a bit lower, my protein intake needs a bit of work, my fat intake was higher, and my fiber intake does need a little bit more push. At the start of the week, the first 2 days, a little bit lower on the calorie intake that I needed, actually, as we can see. And even fiber-wise, it was low. But I'm going to put that towards the fact that I was stressed, and also I didn't prepare the food that I was going to be able to eat this week because I forgot to send my grocery list. But we did well on the protein, and usually I don't, so I'm really proud of that. Now, Wednesday hit, which is of course the half day that we went to the hospital, and I didn't really get to have like a proper dinner and food, so we were very low on that calorie intake. We can see how the rest of the week tried to make up for it. Thursday and Friday were on the higher ends of the calorie intake. Number 1, because we just bought food. Number 2, because when you're bored, you end up just snacking when you have nothing to do, and we were really bored in the hospital. And also number 3, I noticed that without enough fiber to satiate me, I would look for more. Thinking back to my dieting days, I would see these high calorie days as bad days and these low calorie days as good days. I would kind of punish myself or get angry at myself for not making every day the same. Now, we don't want every day to be exactly the same, but we also don't want it to be super duper different from each other. But we can see that throughout the week, if we listen to our body, it can bring us to our needs, but we do have to be mindful if we have a tendency to undereat. How do I feel about this information? I think it was actually really helpful for me to see this. Seeing this shows me that I do have to be more mindful of my fiber intake, my protein intake, and my intake in general, because I may have the tendency to undereat. But I know that if I track even more, I will probably force myself to undereat just because I see that number. One thing that I really want you to take away from this is that you have to look at your nutrition from the bigger picture perspective. One singular day doesn't impact your intake as much as you think. It's everything coming together. But when we learn to listen to our cues, we'll find that our body actually knows exactly what to do. Although this definitely takes time. So that was the video. I hope it helped you in any way to see the bigger picture of nutrition. Wherever you are at your journey, whether you're tracking, intuitive eating, or anything else in between, just remember to nourish your body the best that you can. Restriction will never bring you joy and nourishment, but kindness and compassion and learning to listen will. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Give us a thumbs up if you found this video helpful, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Till then, you always deserve to eat. Bye!